Great. Hey, お願いします。
お願いします。
Great. I'll just loosen up a little bit. Okay, great. Good to get a little bit of front and back. Great, into side to side. Great, taking it into a rotation. Great, taking into a wave. Great, okay, just taking it into a little bit of breathing, stretching right up to the top. Nice deep breath in, bending down from the hips and the knees, all the way down. Nice deep breath out. And curling all the way up through the spine, reaching right up. Great, just one more time. Great, stretching right up over the sides. Great. Great. Okay, just take it into the shoulders a little bit. Forwards. And nice and free with the hips. Draw the arms out a little bit more. Okay, just playing with the elbows, winding them any way you like. Shaking the wrists out. Any angle. Right, a little bit into the chest. Opening and closing the back. Great, a little bit side to side. Great, and then just mobilizing through any direction. Circles. Figure of 8 movements. Great. A little bit of a rotation back with the elbows. Great, and then just play with open them out with the hands, just press them down so the fingertips kind of pressing down, shoulders nice and low, and just release it. Same on the other side. Pressing the fingers down into the ground. Great, and then run kind of chest level, stretching the hands out. Working both sides. Great, and then into the hips. Great, step out a little bit wider, just first dropping down to the squat a little bit, just as far as comfortable. play a little bit, open the hips out to the back. Feels kind of comfortable. Just start to drop it a little bit lower. Take it to the forearms and the legs. Have a little bit more pressure in the hips. If that's really comfortable, you can come right down to this kind of position. And just bring the hands back onto the knees. Really stretch up through the spine first, and then rotating over. Looking over the shoulder. It's to lengthen and rotate. Great. Taking the legs a little bit wider and just start rocking them side to side. Keeping the feet flat. Feels comfortable, just start to drop a little bit lower. Great, just hold them at one side. Change it over. Down, bringing the hands to the ground, and the toes up. Into the sides. Great. Stretching both arms back. Press the hands onto the same line, the feet. Start to release the upper back, especially the neck. Let the head release towards the ground. Walking forwards, so you're on the fingertips. Lengthening out the back of the hips. Okay, shift a little bit of weight onto the hands, bring the feet together. Yeah, and then just pressing out the back heels. Kind of treading with the feet. Great, and then we're just stretching right back, pressing both heels into the ground if you can. Stretching up, pushing the hands down. Great, and nice and slow, walking the hands together to the feet. Holding the body to the knees, to the legs. Just really let the upper body relax, the head. Coming across the knees. Release it, slowly standing back up. The top. Okay, great. And just taking do a little bit of a lunge. Getting the hips nice and square on first. First think about raising the hands up. The body. Just play with the back heel here, just pressing it up and down. Kind of reaching up. Pressing the back leg down. And then just play slowly. Use the hands however you like, just shifting the weight a little bit to the front leg. Backwards and forwards into the front knee. If it's comfortable, you can take it a little bit lower, a little bit further forward with the front leg. Great, and then just slowly dropping down to the knee from the front leg and just go into the hip. Just think about stretching back through the leg, rocking forwards, rolling back. Great, use the same side as the foot that's down. Take the opposite hand over and just again stretch a little bit further into the hip. Let the weight drop towards the ground. The hips are dropping to the floor. And choose the other arm. You can draw a kind of spiral through the whole body. There we go. Nice and slow, releasing it. Back onto the feet, changing the leg. And just working the heel at the back, pressing it down, raising it up. And then you can bring the hands up, stretch up through the whole body. Great. And just slowly dropping the weight forwards. Great, nice and slow, bringing the knee down and just rocking into the hip, drawing back into the leg. You want more holding it here, taking the hand down to the same side, opening up the body into a spiral. Sinking into the front hip, dropping it down as far as you can. So releasing it. Keep bringing the knees back. Sit placing the hands out in front. Sit the hips back, keeping the elbows off the ground. Stretching all the way through the spine. Also a little bit into the toes at the back. With the shoulders stretching out. And release it, bringing the hands up, nice and slow. Feet up to the top. Just loosen out the knees a little bit. Right. Look at the toes, coming up onto the toes, sink back onto the heels. Looking the feet side to side, work the outside edge, and a little bit working the inside edge as well. Mix between those two. Great, and then here, just play with the toes, as if you're kind of gripping the toes, really arching the foot, drawing the toes up underneath. Strong arch. And then you want to do the opposite now. Just think about spreading the toes down into the ground. As far as you can. Great, and then just playing with the toes. Press the 4 toes into the ground, raise up the big toe. Press the big toe in, raise the other 4. Just put between those 4 in, big toe up, big toe in the ground, raise the other 4. Great. Okay, just weight down into the leg, just shaking it out. Bring in the heel into the back of the leg. Keep that releasing the hip as well. Play with the angle of it a little bit. And shake it out this way, so you're getting the hip out, rotate into it. Right, I'm just working with a little bit of a circle with the foot. Try it both ways. Great, just raising out to the sides. A little bit. Great, same leg, rolling nice big hip rotation. And play with this both ways as well. So you go front to back, back to front. Right, just shake it out a little bit. Change the leg. Again, just kicking out the foot first. Changing the angle. Right, a little bit working the rotation. Circling both directions. That's in sides. Great, and big circles with the hip. And just shaking it up a little bit. Shaking the other side as well. Shaking out the wrists. A little bit up and down. A little bit side to side. Rotating them. Moving the arms. Shaking halfway. Making it smaller and smaller. With the weight of the body into the ground, nice and long in the spine. Freeing all the joints, hopefully. Just come to a stop. Okay, great. We'll do a little bit of jump. Okay. Just work a little bit with the grip and the shoulders and the chest. So just starting in the middle of the jaw. You just want to work with a grip, nice and strong, with the sense you want to kind of contact with it, and then you want to sense that you're kind of splitting from the back of the body. So hit the contact and then draw it out, like you're kind of pulling the elbows apart from each other, and then just shift it down a little bit, make it a bit wider. Nice strong grip. Feel like you're splitting it, coming back, changing the grip. Nice and strong, splitting from the back. Really want to activate the whole back of the body. So feel the contact with the feet as well. So everything's kind of included, even though it's just the grip. Try and feel the whole body kind of light up. A bit wider, working all the way down. Yeah. All the way to the end, and then you do the same thing. Think in this case about squeezing in and a little bit pulling down, that you kind of break the bend the jaw, and then coming back in. And again, we include the whole body in it. Sense of the elbows dropping down, shoulders nice and low. Back to the middle. Pressing the jaw out, bringing the both thumbs up, and you just want to think about coiling out. And again, the sense you're kind of squeezing the jaw out from the back. So you've got a nice tight grip at the start. Trying to avoid, in this case, doing something like this, you want to have the sense that the grip's kind of on, and then you want to kind of squeeze it out away from the body. Just a few times on this one, releasing it. Releasing it out. Nice, strong grip. Great, and then just changing which hand's on top. That one. Squeeze it out. At the same time as you're kind of pressing out, you're also kind of really lighten the back of the body up, right from the kind of tailbone to the back of the neck. Release it. Great to work in one hand. A little bit like when we do the rotating work, but think about, in this case, as you get to the horizontal position, think about gripping it and releasing it, gripping it, releasing it. So it's not really focused on that kind of rotation so much in the forearm, although it's still there. But you've got a much more sense of a kind of a pulse through it. Pulse, pulse in it, pulse in it. And just check the alignments with the body. Elbows nice and low. Shoulder down. Again, just listen to what's happening in the feet as well. We've got a kind of similar thing happening down in the feet. It's kind of pulse enters the ground. Hopefully something. A few on each side. Okay, perfect. We're just going to a little bit at the top, just nice and easy, opening up the shoulders right to the back, so you can get all the way over. The key hit, or the thing to think about as well as the shoulders, think about the kind of spine of the body. So in this case, we kind of distorting so much the spine, so as much as you can keep the kind of spine neutral through it. And just take it over. Back again. Open out the shoulders. Open out. Great. Just do one more. Just come up to the top and just take it up to the top of the body here, and just check the spine's nice and neutral. And then get with the legs shoulder width apart. You're just going to bend from the hip, keep that length through the body, so the jaw's going to kind of stay above the head this way. And just think about a little bit, taking the hips back, pressing the jaw out, really flexing at the hip, almost till you get to like a flat back, probably not quite there. And then coming back up with it. Just take it nice and slow. Keep that length through the spine all the time. Dropping down into the hip. Coming back up, just take it nice and slow. Great. So similar but a little bit different. You're going to now take it into a squat down. So keeping again this orientation with the Joe, and just squat however you kind of feel comfortable, and only go as far as down as comfortable as well. So if you need to bring the heels up, go for it. Just come down again, trying to keep the back kind of neutral. You want to avoid, in this case, something like that happening. So keep the spine neutral. Come up, just take it as far down as comfortable. It's really about keeping that alignment as you work the lower body, or let the lower body be kind of flexible. Just come down. You want to kind of sit into the squat a little bit. And come back up with it, just as far as comfortable with it. That's great, very nice. Yeah, great. Nice. Nice, great. Okay. Great, just one more, nice and slow, going up in your own time. Just one more to it. So this time you're going to kind of open up and twist the hips. So it's like going into a lunge. You're going to rotate into it. So you first want to take the leg out, and then as you go down, think a little bit about twisting with the body. And you can play with this one. You can twist this way into it, or you can twist this way into it. Just play with the first, just a little bit of a rotation into it. And again, the key is keeping the spine kind of neutral in it, and letting the hips kind of open and flex. So into a wide stance, keeping the arms up. You can, if you need to, come down with the knee. So you kind of come into this kind of position. That's kind of comfortable. It's just about that, getting the hips opening and keeping that spine nice and neutral, but also really active in the position, holding the jaw up. That's coming up. We'll just play with both sides on. Yeah. Good. Nice. Nice. Great, just nice and slow, coming back on your own time. And then just to loosen out the hips a little bit, so just playing with a little bit of a figure of 8. Loosening the shoulders. Again, you want that length through the back. Feel those shoulders nice and free. Play with the feet a little bit. We're going in the opposite direction. And just play a little bit opening out to the back. And keeping the spine nice and long. Just really allow this to pass freely behind. Nice. Great, and then just play a little bit with drawing the jaw up. So, or think about drawing it a little bit away from the body as well. A little bit more up. Just a little bit more challenging. And again, just thinking about keeping the spine nice and long. So you stay flexible. Okay, great. And it's the same, just imagine you've got a kind of spear and it can kind of change size as well. But so you've got a little bit of a sense of drawing out with it. So there's a little bit more of a sense of either slashing with it or just a sense of, just to really get the sense of going to the tip of the jaw. So there's a sense of the arc in the tip. When you kind of change yourself down, put yourself in the leg. But sometimes working one hand, sometimes with bow. Again, that sense there's a kind of tip at the back, tip at the front of the weapon. So kind of a little bit of a slashing quality to it. That's it. That's it. Good. Nice, nice, nice. Good. Very nice. Nice, nice, nice. Very nice. Yeah, great. Great, and then just play with the sense of having both hands on the jaw but split from it. So you've got the sense of these kind of movements. But again, just keep it nice and playful. Play also with adjusting the grip so that you're going from the kind of grip we'd use in the ski work, also the grip we'd use in the Ken work. But just play with that sense of, again, keeping the spine nice and long. Just working the hands a little bit. So working the position of the arms as well as you go into various positions. So working the back of the jaw like you would with the Gedan work. Even bringing the Hasso kind of stuff. Just keep it kind of loose, just exploring different positions with the hands. Same time, keeping the lower body nice and heavy. Upper body extended up. Nice, nice, nice. Very nice, good. Right. Okay, good. So this one, it's a little bit like when we do this kind of placing work with the Bokken work. Just you're doing it, keep the same kind of freedom in the movements without the keenness, without going into the kind of sense of striking yet. but just go into the sense of kind of placing the body into it. So you're entering the kind of active position, but really give yourself time just to kind of settle into the ground. So you're really focusing on primarily the ground settling, that sense of length in the spine, just the structure. Yeah, a little bit more focus rather than on the tip of the jaw or where the strike would occur. A little bit more in the region of between the hands. And really the priority here is the sense of grounding down. And you can play with strikes, you can play with blocks. Sense of really dropping the body into the ground. Nice strong structure. But should also feel nice and flexible as well.
Thank you.
Great.
And see you later. Bye bye, Michael.
See you later. That's it, nice. Great, good, good. Great, and very slowly just start to work a little bit more into the focus. So you've got a sense of the focus out into the tip of the jaw, or wherever you're kind of striking with or blocking with. Just try and tie in that sense of the ground now as you kind of place the body in. You want to tie that into the kind of striking out, finding the ground, striking out with it. Striking out with it. But again, try and keep that kind of flexibility through the body. So I want now the body to start tensing up. Sense of entering the ground, finding the focus. Finding the focus. You find one move's tricky, just keep kind of going into it. Nice. Okay, great. And then with the kind of feeling of all the intention to kind of go into a little bit more of a fluid thing without going into it, just focus on the release out from the strike. So you've got the sense of coming into the ground. Now really focus on this as you find the release into it. So you really want a sense of releasing the whole body, and you want a sense of really flexibility with the body. So now just focusing on the going in and out of the position. Just play with this kind of, you do 3-4 movements, reset it. A nice, simple kind of combination. Just focus on that sense of release. Release. That's it. Okay, great. So just take this now into a kind of 2 combination, and the first one, make it a ski, and you can start on either side. What you're going to do now is look at the kind of 𝒂𝒂𝒿 movement. So play with finding the ski and then just finding another movement, but don't worry about the actual strike of it. You just want to worry about kind of getting the ground again. So play with any kind of movement. You've got ski. Just don't worry so much about the strike itself, but just that sense of landing the weight to the body. So you've got the sense of nice and grounded, and then take it into another combination. Work both sides. Either stick with one movement or mix it with anything you like. That's it, right. Great, and then just to kind of mix up a little bit, play with starting in a Ken position. So working with the first move being a strike here, and then bringing again that second step into it, whatever it is, and just kind of releasing the movement. Then you can strike left side, right side. Just start with the Kenkamai, take into a strike, and just play with kind of moving the body out into the second movement. Very good. Okay, and then lastly, just kind of start to complete the strikes on all of them. So play with kind of short combinations. The key with this one, there's a kind of habit, if I get into it, I'll just kind of keep going, and I lose the contact and I keep going with it. But in this case, if you feel that contact drop, just drop it, stop it, drop it, stop it, start again, find the position, and then you just want to have the sense now of completing, play with whatever kind of comes out. You feel it's kind of naturally completed, or you lose the connection, just stop it. Start again. Look at something like nice and flexible. Try and also include kind of front and back to the movements as well, or as a kind of 360 kind of movement to it. Right. Okay, then last minute, go back to this kind of free form. So you've got a little bit more flexibility with the kind of movements, not kind of limited with the sense of just kind of strikes, going into a position strike. So really play with kind of mobilizing the jaw, passing behind the back, all this kind of stuff, but also play with the strikes. Find it useful so it doesn't become kind of pattern twirling. Think about it as a spear as well. So you got again that sense of kind of slashing, striking with it. A little bit like the tip of the jaw is wet and kind of you're kind of getting flicking water off it. But again, keeping the body nice and heavy, but just add a little bit more flexibility into the movement and the grit. Again, when you feel the connection's gone, just drop it. Start again.
Yeah, okay, good. Perfect. And just slowly come into a stop when you're not. Right. And we stop it. So. Great. どうもありがとうございました。どうもありがとうございました。Great. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.